Leave me alone, guys.
Leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
You know, this is one of then I'd say one of the highest requested interviews in the patron group. You know, they've been asking for this. And as you know, when you pay us, we listen.
And well, ironically, his name belies his nature.
Ndiani wamurutani zvake apa?
Maro ane chirungu ka. Ndikutokupai ka compliment panapa munikufunga kuti.
Andisandanoda mabundles English.
But my $1 bundles.
Une Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Alright, connect uone zvandakuitirai.
There are now USD bundles available as well.
Andokusungira ibhudzi. Bhudzi zangu dzasungwa saka English. So, how's it going, gentlemen?
Then fashion, check the fashion there. Fashion with the
makes me feel bad.
Check the pants.
Ndangobva kuholiday kuma ndangopfeka boots unoza. Anyway, let's start the show as we always do. Welcome to another episode of Two Broke Twimbos, ladies and gentlemen. But we have to raise the energy in the building. Our guest won't be able to hear this, but you'll just see on our faces energy vibe.
Okay.
Saka, Philip, Sylent. Ayo.
Good to go. Sound of the thing them. Hey. Get mad now.
Let me hear a drum play.
Yes, Dan, I am.
Good to go.
Season 10 of the podcast in the Latin country. Air metal. Coming back to you back again. From my living room to your ears. All 5 of you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of your favorite podcast. Two Broke Twimbos, we in the building. My name is Danny That Guy, aka I forgot, what do I normally say? What is my intro? Yeah. Okay. Denimbi, My Life Your Entertainment, GGG, YZ.
Dodrofindo Den.
Yeah, Madorofia Den, GGG. Welcome to another episode of Two Broke Twimbos. It's Danny That Guy in the building.
And he's only the unmistakable, the irrefutable, the unquestionable, the superhero bull. Give me all that sugar bull. Phil Chaddick, if Flame Flaws, the big boss, baby. Get Fidz up, he. AKA Sexington Lawful, AKA Filthy Phil, DJ Untitled, and of course,
Welcome.
You know what the funny thing is? It's very evident when no one has ever listened to the podcast before. Because I was like, what the hell is going on?
Where the hell? Same guys will be saying, no, I love the podcast. You need to get me on one of these days.
Phil, I love Two Broke Zimbos. I love that show.
It's like, yeah, what's that show you do, y'all? No, it's the Denny Zimbos show. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, geez, man, you and Run G guy, you guys do so well, eh? Oh, jeez.
Which Ranji, so I don't understand why you guys are still saying Ranji, man. Anyway,
I don't know who's you guys.
Anyway, special episode of Two Broke Twimbos today because our Zimbabwean Doing It Big is in the building. His name is Sylent Nqo.
No.
That's what I said.
Itakuti Nqo.
Sylent Nqo.
Yeah. Phil, your turn. Itakuti Sylent Nqo.
Sylent Nqo.
They call him the guitar sangoma, but he's taken it a step further because my man's has just released an album.
Yeah, man.
And we're here to talk about it, to talk about him. Make some noise.
Bless you, Bomira.
Yeah. And as already been mentioned, this is a highly requested interview. So we'll talk about other things later. But first, let's start with you. My favorite interview question. Who is Sylent? No, please, let's not do that. I hate that song.
I am sorry.
When did you start playing the guitar?
What inspired you? I know. Please don't answer these questions.
I was
tell us definitively. Ma guitar are mariere.
How do you balance being a man and a musician?
Boys.
Well, this is the real interview, you know? What did you... No, this is a serious interview. We want people to know you for the depth that you have. So we wanted to hear, what is your opinion on the geopolitical influence of Russia as it continues to attack Ukraine and its ever-aggressive eastward expansion? Do you think it's going to have any effect on us in Southern Africa? What are your thoughts, my brother?
Bro, I have no idea what's happening here.
What do you think of transsexual rights and how they're continually trodden upon within Zimbabwe? We want to hear your opinion right now. Please share.
I have no opinion.
Wow. Well, we know what he thinks now.
That is your
He's
opinion.
so not an ally.
Silent
So not an
face.
ally. He's silent on the issue.
Silent. Silent Chappelle. Huh?
Can I get some water? No, it's here. Oh yeah, the energy drink.
You realized,
It's not real. Huh?
Without energy, silent. That is an achievement.
Anzikumbura energy drink. No, but we've known Sylent for a long time. Obviously, Sylent is listen. It's one of those weird things where probably the general public don't know him as well as the musicians and the people in the industry, because obviously you're known to a certain extent in the public, but in terms of mainstream knowledge, there's probably no artist or anyone who's in the musical industry who doesn't know about Sylent. Mm-hmm. And you've probably been on stages with most people. Mm-hmm. But the average person on the street, they'll be like, Sylent, that name sounds familiar. But see, so we're here.
And then the rest of them say Silent Killer.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact lyrics.
Wow.
Anyway, so
okay, let's go. Let's go.
Do you know I'm going to have to edit all of this after?
I have zero. They're non-existent after this.
Audience, I want you to understand that, these days I'm a busy man. I used to be very meticulous. These days I'm just like, this section has too many swear words. No, but anyway, thank you for coming. Obviously, we're going to be very, very friendly with each other because we know each other friendlily. But yeah, Sylent, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
congratulations on the album.
Thank you so much, my brother.
I like how it's a quick listen. Because in that time I went to the bathroom, I was able to go through
fully sample the whole album. Yes. I also had an opportunity to sample the album and listen to it. And first of all,
boys,
hey,
oh wow!
What's wrong?
I finally figured that's his touch point. If we go after his art, we finally figured out how to flaster Sylent.
That's where you're sensitive. Eh? No, well. So first of all, Sylent, I know you.
I love you guys. Right. Daddy is happy.
What's the problem?
Because you're like, finally.
No.
Wow.
We respect the craft. First of all, before even this album came out, we already knew you as probably the most talented guitarist I've ever seen.
Oh, thanks, man. And now I don't know if you're me or not.
No, seriously, come on, dude.
Okay.
We done been knowing.
Okay.
I mean, we've even worked together. We called him to do music on the thing, right?
Yeah.
Nice, Sylent. Atana kufonera kuti mdara touch.
Yeah. One time, one hit a quitter.
And also, as you know, we've done some stuff on radio together.
Yeah, man. Same to the
No. That's the other radio station.
I
know. Wow. But obviously we know you as a talented guitarist. So I figure let's start there and then we'll talk about the music.
Okay.
So Pagitarega, obviously you've been playing for a very long time because you don't get to that level.
Yeah.
Without having played for a long time. How did guitar become your thing?
It just became, my granddad was a guitarist in Mozambique, but my main was marimba. Then drums, then the bass. Right? Guitar was only when I couldn't play rugby anymore. Then I started playing guitar. Like that.
What was going on? You're just too good in the field.
No, I know. I don't quite. Those not too good.
Does head trauma and him?
Am I?
Oh, okay.
Boys, imimi toko na unotopinda mambama because I'm not sensitive.
I'd love
to see it. Please, I'd pay good money for you to eat
concussion. lasting that.
But guitar was like it was bass, and then I just switched to guitar.
So I've seen you not necessarily follow a music sheet or anything like that. Like you're literally just following the sound and recreating it on the guitar or creating new sounds that you know will fit there.
Yeah.
Would you say you have a feel for music, or did you do theory at some point?
I am music. I'm self-taught.
You never did like music theory?
No, I'm self-taught. I taught myself the theory as well.
On every instrument you play?
Sorry?
On every instrument?
Everything that I do music, I taught myself to start singing in 2017. I'm still learning. I didn't sing before 2017. I was just a guitarist.
So wait, can you read sheet music?
To an extent, yeah. I'm teaching myself.
How, like, are you going on YouTube or?
Well, there's books, YouTube.
There's this app that keeps advertising.
And also, like when you're the apps within or plugins, but within Logic that can like transcribe stuff.
What's cool?
So,
damn it, this is part of my degree. Damn it, I'll remember it later.
There's no any question. They wasted money.
Besa him dad.
So,
okay.
So I mean,
we run a beam.
We kind of joked about it before, but in Zim, typically, musical artists, like people who play instruments and so on, don't typically get a lot of shine or get a lot of, the lead artist or a singer can get to a stage where they are. Well, and now they got shows and whatever, but it's very rare. It's very rare that you'll know about a drummer or guitarist or pianist or whatever.
Yeah.
And unlike in more developed places where there's better music industries, here it's hard. I can't picture or imagine being able to really be lucrative, to make proper money as a session artist or rather as a musical instrument player. You know what I mean? Were you thinking of that at all, or for you it was just the music, it was just the art? For now, I'll figure it out.
It's always been about the art for me, but the transition into being a solo artist came from being laughed at within the industry when I was a session guitarist, right? So I taught myself, then worked my way up to being known as a guitarist, as a guitarist, to being better, to winning a championship, to being a solo artist. You get it? So this is right way because Banamon and one zero and because I told 6 months and Jabati and she practice. Then I come back and then I go again and I come back and something. It's just like the album now. I went quiet and then now I've got an album. People are expecting guitars and it's more vocals. You get what I mean? So I teach myself things. Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot to take from that. I think before we get back to the guitaring, or rather playing the guitar, you said you first started playing the marimba. Where were you playing? This was in school.
Your
mom seems to be quite supportive. Because I remember this one time you bought this fancy piece of equipment and you're like, I know my mom's got me that. She's like,
yeah.
Where do you find such supportive mothers of the arts? What do you want?
You know what? My parents my dad passed, but they've always been traditional. You know what I mean? As in traditional, in the literal sense, right? So, I had to teach them to raise me. You know what I mean? I had to teach them to raise me the way I wanted. So I made them supportive. Otherwise, mom was done in the chukoro. You know what I mean? I passed everything my high school, but like uni, but I had to teach them to raise me the way I wanted to be raised. So I'm actually quite different from the rest of my siblings. Do you know what I mean? There's that, and then also just circumstances led to me doing what I love. Yeah.
That's dope.
I remember when we were doing the Pungwe sessions, and then Sylent came in. We called in Sylent. You know, this song needs something. It needs, you know, live, instrumental something. So I think the thought process was we're going to sit, we're going to conceptualize, we're going to figure out how far, you're going to listen to the song first. My man was like, nah, put the track on. I plug in, connect. Urgurukoda, bo. And then he just started. And it was like, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Thanks a lot for that. Because he did a 15-minute clip. Now I had to figure out, okay, from this 15 minutes, what loop am I?
And I mean, it was perfect. I remember that Tantana Rhymes as well. And Rhymes was just like, freaking, But it was dope to see that in action. You know what I mean? Like it's actually, you can see that it's art and talent. And it's just, you know, it's not reading sheet music or I remember you must play this note and that note. You were just like,
but it's also resonance and energy, right? Like if the energy wasn't right that day, so it's not just me and the talent that I came with. It's you guys being there as well and being, you know, complimenting whatever I was playing, you know. It's your energy to, like, when you were listening to the stuff I'm playing and your expressions, they help me here because I play from the heart. You know what I mean? Whatever line it is, it's from Ipapo.
I didn't want to take credit, Hangu, but since you insist, I mean, it's really all me. No.
Shame.
It's funny you say that because maybe without mentioning names, you and I have had a conversation about sessions that you've had with some artists where the energy was just off.
Yeah.
It was just off. And, you know, other situations where the energy is dope.
Yeah.
How do you describe? What's the difference between the two? What do you see? What do you feel?
You feel it, man. You feel it. We're just talking because Jutan is music, but generally in life, you can feel where you're welcome and where you're not welcome, or where there's intention or not. Do you know what I mean? You can feel it where Gaurimun. So it's not really just about the music. It's about the person. You know, these guys are distracting me. And
I'm just trying to make sure no one gets any food poisoning.
Oh. You guys can help yourself. You can have anything in the fridge. You can go ahead. Anything you want. My cupboards up. Help yourself to whatever you want, guys. There's cash in the safe as well. If you want to. Wait, Phil's house.
But yeah, what was the question again?
So I was asking about okay.
So it's energy in general. So there's some times where I have like, I'm feeling an energy from another artist, but their song is. But because of that energy, because we got that good vibe going, I then feel entitled to make a suggestion because I feel we could be comfortable sharing ideas and I can tell you, okay, let's shape the song this way. Then there's some instances where the song is dope, but the energy with the artist is not. And I don't like forcing it like that. You know what I mean? So I'd rather I get good energy in a song that we can shape because I imagine. So a song can always be made better.
So top 5 worst energy in the studio. Let's say the names.
I won't say.
Japre. Guys. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I won't say. Solely because I don't.
No, we
didn't really expect
that
bridge is done. You know what I mean?
Like, even if you had said it, we would have cut it out.
No, I don't care. I really don't care. I'm just saying I don't feel like it's necessary talking about them. They are of no value to me.
So to give a little bit of context for our listeners, so Sylent and I were doing a thing on radio where the idea was we wanted to have live performances by different artists, but with the same band. So it was Sylent and his crew, Sylent and Friends. And the idea
is that the official name?
It was. I don't know if it still is.
Taitra my favors.
I was rewind for now. I was change on your on Sylent and Friends.
Because
my favors. What type of favors?
Because they allow us to tell what I'm managing. Yeah, 2 years second.
I don't like. Sylent is very adamant about his credits.
Yeah. No,
it's very good on the branding.
It's very true.
That element is very good on the branding.
And he must get it. So to give context, so we're doing this on radio, right? The idea is Sylent will be the Sylent and Friends of the band, and then different artists come in each week.
Yeah.
And then we would normally discuss, like, that one was firing, or that one was like, the vibe or the energy was a little bit off. And that was always super curious to me because, like, how can you, because just from me watching, the person looked like everything was fine. But my energy, babu.
No, Dan. Once you're attuned to that frequency, you can pick it up. You know what I mean? It's not. It's like us creatives. We understand. I mean, you office types. You don't get what's going on. Right
Okay.
Danny Thai guy.
So you were then getting a lot of calls to do live performances with a lot of artists.
Uh-huh.
How were they finding you? How did they know?
I think before that we need to talk about the competition and him going to America, because I think me that's I'd seen Sylent a few spots, but I think that's where he entered the national conversation. And I could definitely start seeing the look starting to appear more. I mean, as someone who would go to events, I'd see you performing, and you've got obviously it's harder to miss Sylent. You know, he's of a certain stature. You know, he's always very flamboyantly dressed.
You know, jewelry. You know,
it's hard to miss a guy who's 6 feet with a nose ring. It's hard to miss him because even out.
And normally what you do is you look around for the loudest person there, and that's Sylent.
You're capping.
Guys. Loudest in the room. Ibaba, I'll put mine. I'll put mine.
It's okay. Got to put things in perspective and keep it moving.
Okay. So let's go on that. You're a self-taught musician.
Yeah.
Up until this point, like before that competition, had you been doing solo work, or you just been? Because I remember seeing like you're doing stuff on social media.
Yeah. So the competition was 2016. And before that, I just started getting gigs, you know, I was because I had kind of made noise with the whole Tungo Gara thing with Junior Brown and because of my guitars. So, and I was playing for Mike Ainity or something, and you know what? So,
that's where I first met you, Mount Olympus. I remember.
Yeah. So, you know, those gigs, there were people that would talk about the fat kid who plays guitar with a gold tooth. You know what I mean? So after that, I went to, can I mention names?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Went to Pariah State and then, you know, lied my way to getting a gig on Tuesdays, you know.
What did you tell them? What lies did you say?
No, I spoke to Matt actually. But, you know, I told him I had a crowd. I know, mother.
I've got following, man.
Yeah,
do you want to sell or not?
But luckily, the first Tuesday I got packed. I'm fine, IG. Bolato. Then I got a regular slot. And then, you know, Unplugged started as well. Then I got my gig there. Then I was just growing. Like the whole thing was just... My musical journey is an intentional experiment. Like I'm constantly just trying to do little things. I'm learning how to DJ right now because I just want to, you know. So as long as it's art, I find my way with it, and that's what I did. And lying too, it's an art.
No, I'm not even mad at that because you gotta sometimes because people when you believe in yourself, you're like, listen. If you give me the platform, I can give you this. But for you to give me the platform, I have to persuade you.
Someone has to take the first risk. So that's also a very valuable thing because like the Beatles, they credit all those gigs in Germany for how they became so good. So you had already a leg up on even accomplished musicians because you had a regular gig every Tuesday.
Yeah.
So then how do we get from the Tuesday gig to America Calling?
Bro.
In LA, California.
That it's some of these things I really can't explain. Like it's like it happens in a moment and then I forget that June, you know, and I forget some of the series of events that happen. Like then I remember just saying, I'm going to the States. Like,
so you don't remember auditioning or nothing?
I remember sending a video, you know, uploading a video for the audition, you know, and then I got to you know, until it was like a week before, and then now it's like flights and stuff. I have to, and I wasn't even prepared. The soundtrack that I won with we made it with Nachueda, I think a day before I left.
So you guys,
it was not like a thing for me.
So to give the listeners context, what is the format of this competition?
You got 1 minute to showcase.
So, and do you have to showcase an original composition or remake?
Yeah, so if you can do a remix, you can do original works. Yeah, the different categories. But original works is like for the professionals. Like, yeah. And I was the only guy there without sheets, music, and an original composition. And I just got on stage, did the first thing. Then the next day I go see a board and my name is up there for the semifinals. Okay, cool. So I even like the guitar practicing, the day that I knew I was going to the finals, then I started getting nervous. Now I'm practicing guitar. And then on the day of the finals, it just happened. Top of stage, the winner of the whatever. I mean, I was thinking, that's no power. You know, like I there's no way I'm winning this. You know what I mean? You know, and then, yeah, I got the awards. But again, it's something I've forgotten about because it's not even a milestone for me. It's just something I did along.
You know what I mean?
Not even like that. But I wouldn't let that define me because even the music I was doing then is different from how I listen to music now or how I articulate notes. Do you get it? So it's just but there's still life after the awards.
But did it help translate to you office types? What he's saying is there's a musical evolution, you know what I mean? Like his frequencies have heightened, you know what I mean? His skills have moved down.
Phil has the goal to call me an office type. If you
Anyway, let's ask Sylent.
But few are not saying that my email, man.
but how about my emails are
yeah.
I will not be castigated for doing good business.
Danny, I can send the Ramon, we're saying including sound engineer email. Don't play with Danny. Danny, get to ZFM. Danny's like, hello, Sylent. Bro.
Dad, why are you so snarky? Like, why are you giving him sass?
Dan, bro, like
you didn't return your text.
Right, bro.
Like,
come on, bro.
Fancy seeing you here, Sylent.
Hello, Sylent. Okay.
Did you see my message?
What I want to say, Shaman. Hello, Sylent. But no slouching, no slouching. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Anyway, so award in America, didn't that change your prospects when you got back? Now you're recognized, my gig, my chief.
I wasn't even fully recognized, bro. Yeah, like no one really gave a no one has ever given so
what do you mean we do, Sylent?
No,
You're
seriously,
right
like
now.
it's you guys because you're my people and we resonate, but like to be honest, no one really gives a about my but like
That's such a sad thing to say, dog. I mean,
no. It's not from a sad perspective. I play my music for those that listen to it. You know what I mean? Not for numbers, not for someone, coming to say Wakapenga. I'm not looking for that.
We're not trying to get that
what I
viral
mean?
TikTok
but
moment.
When things like that happen, where I'm the first African and Zimbabwean to win such an award, and people don't give it as much as attention as they would do if something stupid happened in the country. You know what I mean? So for me, it's about just doing the music for anyone who is ready to feel it. Yeah.
Okay. So you're at this point, you're playing guitar. And I assume when you say you're getting booked for gigs, apart from the one at Pariah, which you're doing as a solo act at the time, I assume you were also part of many artists' bands.
Yeah.
So artists would hit you up. Would they call you to ask you to join their band, or were you already part of a band that was doing like these circuits?
So being a session guitarist in Zim, or session musician rather, you're validated by whoever the artist in the big artist in those circles is. So it's either that or people just start talking about you. So before you go for rehearsals with any band, one band will try you out. No rehearsals. They'll just call you for a gig and then you go play. Maybe get $10. And yeah, so indeed, in Mfombi, like people like within the music community, and there are different ones as well. So there's the live musicians, and then you get the
mic close to you, sorry. You can move it. You can move it as you move.
I would have loved to just hold it, but yeah. So there's different ones. So I don't know. It just started being Sylent Nqo is a guitar. Like, that's how it started. It was at Book Cafe actually, and yeah, I ended up playing for. You just start getting calls, and and you before you know it, you've joined a band, and you don't even know when you say yes, But you're in the band because you went for that jam session, and then they called you for a gig in Baitbridge, and then you're now part of their band, and then you're booked somewhere again with another band, and so it started getting tiring,
Does it ever happen the other way around, where there's a band and you guys are now calling say Sylent is going to an event or a gig or whatever, and then you're calling the vocal artist?
No, that's why I told myself to sing.
Tora Mara United, why do you think he started singing?
Yeah,
I don't want to give him the market.
I was just going to define it and
I can read very soon he's going to get like an MPC and he's going to be looping drum. He's going to do the drum. So the frequencies, you know what I'm saying?
Then he's going to
my office types.
Then he's going to be his own MC.
That's over MC.
You get the double-sided jacket, so you put it on one side. Guys, give it up for Sylent. Then you run to the back.
Yes.
Yo, give it up for the MC, man.
Grow a banana. I don't know.
So you see, every time Sylent comes to my house, I know to stock up.
Yeah.
Last time he came in, he was like, Phil, I need jelly beans right now.
Yeah. Phil is the best though. I know Chengetam artist.
Yeah. As the office type that he is, he really looks after. Because he, as someone who wants...
But he slouches sometimes. He'll count my steps. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 3, 5, 8. Okay. Come back. Okay.
Send that spreadsheet over, guys. Send that spreadsheet over.
Okay. So you started doing vocals in 2017.
Yeah.
There were a couple of tracks you released, like that European Union Arm. I remember.
Yeah. But that was like when I was just it was before.
Oh, was it before?
Yeah. It was before.
So do you prefer, like, as an artist, as doing the music, which one means the most to you? Which one do you prefer to be known for?
Music.
I get what you're saying.
I create.
Look at these office types. Your office types are trying to categorize things. It doesn't fit in a filing cabinet, my man.
Boxes don't exist in my world.
You know what I mean? This is the galaxy.
I ain't asking you to put yourself in a box. I'm asking, what do you feel more complete?
Art is a spectrum,
music,
not a category.
I am music.
Yeah, but those are different things, ka. Sound engineer and a music food.
Saga. And with no music, Saga, either way.
And then?
Oh, sorry. So the PR team is letting him know what he must say. Yes.
No.
And Sylent Game's quite deep.
Yes. What is the official PR response?
I'm just to calm down because I was about to get pissed off.
Thank you, PR.
But sound engineer and don't almost as a bit.
Okay, Sylent. I understand what you're saying. Yes, obviously the whole process of music and creating can't necessarily be boxed or defined necessarily. What I want to know is what you personally, where you feel you're most complete.
What do you want to be known for, Danny?
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Okay. What do you want to be known for?
When I was on radio, I loved being on the mic.
Right.
But I hated public appearances and, having to be in front of people.
Right.
But that's part of the whole job, because if you're entertaining people, you got to do it when you're out in places or broadcasting outside or whatever. But being on the mic, just me and the microphone and just talking guans and stories and whatever, I love doing that. So I was able to see like, I like this, but I don't like this.
Okay.
But altogether, obviously, it's part of the same kind of process that you're putting together. And you got to do something. You got to do some things you don't like. Or if you don't like them, you got to outsource them to other people or whatever. And ultimately, to be honest, it's part of the reason why I'm not on radio that much anymore, because there's so many elements of it that I didn't like. So, you know, step back a little bit. Don't want to be in the public too much.
But that's your choice because you feel a certain way about being in public too much. Whereas for me, when I play the mbira and sing with just the mbira, that's where I am, if it's just the guitar. But when I'm just making music, which is why I've written for some artists even here, you know, and composed for some artists here, where I know it's my song because it's my sound that I gave them. Do you get it? It's not really, I want to be known for music. I create. And that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take it. But I'll find another way.
I'm a designer.
You know what I mean, Dan? I think
design.
Yeah, stop trying to box him in. You know what I mean? He's not a report that you can just file.
So guitar is the one and you know fanele kungoto kwira pa stage ndakabereka because inonangidza umsana. Not because it sounds better than the other instrument. No.
Guys got Zmoga. Okay, for example.
Okay.
You made a deliberate decision to start doing vocals.
Yeah.
Right? Mm. I'm sure there was an element of creative to that there were certain sounds you were trying to make, and listen, I need to provide vocals to make this sound.
No, I'm a badass writer.
Or even better.
So I wanted to sing my lyrics because I couldn't give them to anyone here.
Well, no, perfect. That's a perfect example that I'm saying. So there was something that...
But I didn't start singing so that I could leave the guitar.
Fair enough. But you started singing to fill a need or fill a gap.
No, there was no gap. I just wanted to express myself differently.
So as you didn't want to express yourself before 2017.
What I'm saying is, himself by the guitar, Dan.
I was playing the guitar.
You offers types, man.
I was playing the guitar, and you know what? I play other instruments as well. Hey, Mazona.
The PR team has stepped in again. Yes. Do we need to delete all of this?
Not even. But yeah, like it's no. I design, bro. I've had this idea the whole day. It's a choral song, and it's just gonna be choral. Will I have money to have a choir on stage at HICC or so? I don't know, but I'm gonna design that sound because it's there. I feel it.
Now you put it in the universe. It'll come back. No, jokes aside, what Dan is trying to get at is ultimately the goal of this podcast is, and the reason why our listeners wanted to get you on is they see you on social media and they're like, yo, Sylent seems funny and engaging as hell.
Right.
So they obviously wanted to see what their dynamic would like with us. But we also want to make sure that the people that listen to this podcast who've never heard of you, who don't know you, who are hearing your music for the first time, get a full picture of who Sylent the artist, who Sylent the person is.
Yeah.
And part of that is your motivations.
Yeah.
And to a lot of people, I can understand what you're saying because I get it. Like sometimes you just want to create. And there's no rationale, there's no reason behind it. It's just I want to create. But to some people, like Dan is asking, they need a reason, a motivation. Like, wait a minute. So for you to say to them, I just woke up and wanted to sing, and they'll be like, wait, what? Like,
no, but I didn't mean it that way. What I meant was I design music. This is my life. This is how I make this is how I earn a living. I don't just wake up and want to sing. When I sing, there's money involved. Do you understand? There's a whole family to be taken care of from that. However, when I do design this music, right, I'm triggered by something. I am inspired by something in a moment. So I could finish the song in 30 minutes or 2 minutes or 5 days or 6 years. Do you get it? So it's not really, it's elements. It's different structures of art. Did you get it?
Yeah. So I think it's less about motivations and more about trying to understand those inspirations that you feel. So for example, if say for example, you play both mbira and guitar, it could be which of the two do you prefer? And it's okay to say like in the moment I do mbira and the other moment I'll do guitar.
But that's the thing. Like I can't pick.
Yeah.
It could be this can, okay, or my rings.
Yeah, so I guess that's...
So I can't pick
I get you.
an instrument for a song, so I make the music in my head and then translate it to whatever instrument sounds right with that. So that's what I do with languages as well. Like I have songs, like in the album, there's a song with 4 languages in it, but it's because certain words could fit with the melody that was created before the words came. So it's not about a certain instrument. I love the guitar. That's why I'm called the guitar sangoma. It's clear. But I have the same love for every other instrument as well.
So I guess I was asking, like, is it more instrumental side or more musical side? But I also get it at the same time, that it's...
Instrumental is musical.
More vocal or instrumental.
Okay.
So...
It's music.
I'm going to start calling you Michael Scott.
Have you finished your book?
Break.
Man.
No, this is
this is a grueling. It's also a test of your endurance.
Oh, okay. Because quagmires.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And we're back. Only your two broke Twimbos do we give interviews so high energy that we tire outside. Sylent was like, "Oh my God, guys, so much energy.
I need a nap or something."
Which he did. So he's been napping for the past 45 minutes in my bedroom. Thanks for that. I was the big spoon.
Brother.
All right. So I suppose at this point we can get to your album, man.
Yeah.
No. Dad, I think Sylent actually has a really dope story. And I think as someone, and I think even you notice it, there's
I just don't like the way you said even you.
Because you had an office type.
It implies
there are very few people who I feel have done what Sylent has done. Not only is he an autodidact, that's a fancy word for he teaches himself things, but he's managed to successfully not only teach himself instruments, enter the industry, because Lord knows there's multiple musicians trying to get in, struggling. Yeah. He's managed to create a great brand identity for himself. There's a lot of brand recognition. He's become a prolific session musician. He's become an author, a composer in multiple instruments, and then also a performer. Where now him. And of course, we can't gloss over his biggest achievement to date, being Captain Mfombi's arch-nemesis and the biggest obstacle. I mean, first of all, how did you bring Captain Mfombi down?
Oh, by the way, you forgot he's also a promoter.
Oh, yes. No. In fact,
well, I don't know if that's the right term.
Honest, but I don't lie. He's doing, I don't know if he wants that business out there, but hey, the numbers I saw that day. I was like, what? What? Man, this is
hey, let's just go have a chill evening.
That was the spot for the chill evening. Maybe play some pool, get a burger. No, Harare Conga.
Yes. I don't know what to say without sounding cocky. So it is what it is.
Sound cocky, man. Why not?
No, I do that.
Actually, I'd completely forgotten about the Captain Mfombi thing.
Yeah,
acting. I mean, that's a route to go down. You think you want to expand that a little more?
If it makes sense and if it happens at the right time, then yeah. It's also something I'm teaching myself. Like it was a COVID gift.
So how did that come about? Like, okay,
Phil, both Sylent and myself were on Captain Mfombi, and as colleagues. I think no, Phil, it's okay. It's okay,
You made a cameo. He actually had lines, funny difference.
I had lines.
You asked like 2 questions. And in one of them, you're stuttering. So tell me, how do you do this?
First of all, it's not about me here today. It's about Sylent.
Okay.
Second of all, so you were saying if it makes sense, you'd pursue it.
Yeah. Again, it's about art and expression.
I mean, it was entertaining. It was a dope look,
But again, like it's gotta if I'm not being honest with it, then it's not going to make sense. So I'm very patient with everything I do, and I give everything its time, and its expiration as well, so, but it'll always be a part of me. So if an opportunity that makes sense, or if it's a story that sits with me, that I have to, or a character that I resonate with, then yeah, I would love taking up acting. I would. Yeah.
So my social media skits, when did they begin and why did you pursue them?
What's the name of the character?
If you don't remember the name, then why are we talking about it?
What are you talking about?
The silent character on TikTok.
Yes, man.
The main one that he plays, man. Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Let's keep it moving, guys. So the album, what go on?
No, but Well Done does that. Where do you come up with these things?
I don't know. They just happen, bro. These things just happen. I can never explain it in a way that sounds appealing without saying a word of a lie.
In our conversation, some people might erroneously come to the conclusion that you are just bumbling through life, which you are not. Because you and I have had conversations about the business side of things and the plans that you've got in place and what you want to do with your music and where you want to take and all of. So you, obviously, and I think you've said in the interview, you're quite deliberate about some of the steps you make. And sure, some things happen on the spur, and the key is to pivot and know what to do in each moment, whatever. Yeah, but you definitely do have plans. Specifically on the business side, I don't know if this is actually the case, but just from someone who's observing, I seem to have gotten the sense that you recognized or saw an opportunity, especially with especially with NGOs and so on, who are looking for an artist who's not only talented but can actually give them what they're looking for and give them that kind. Were you a little bit deliberate about that, or it just happened to be they came and liked what you had?
The goal was to always make music that is for the people, right? In the sense that I never want negativity to be as a result of a song that I've released or any form of art, right? So there's always intention. And the first time that happened was with the EU song with Vakuruwe. I was approached by MMX. And they told me that they had a project and it was about wildlife preservation and whatnot. And I really didn't I didn't pay attention to wildlife at all. Like, until Inyama, but until that came up as well, then I started doing my research on it and, believing to an extent. And it was easier to write the song after understanding what I'm writing about. Yeah.
Tell us some of the other business sort of decisions you've made about, obviously art is art for art's sake, but you got to make a living.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things you did to try and make sure that your art is sustaining you?
Different things, man. I'm a music teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and besides just gigs, I help artists with their music. Different artists from here, from Nigeria. The last project I did was Peruzi's album, Rum and Boogie. It came out last year.
Just name drop. Just drop the name.
Yeah. No. I'm a beast. I'm a beast.
When you say helped with, what were we doing? Were you like helping with composition or?
Composition, and that's what I've done this for Japraiser here as well. Amara Brown, Odious, lots of artists. So yeah, it could be composing or adding guitar lines or helping with lyrics. So it's different things. So that also puts money in the bank, and I work as well. I work. I do what I do. Yeah, I do what I do.
No, they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Nah, dope.
Anything else is on a need to know basis. So yeah.
I won't.
But I make it work. I balance my life. I make choices. Yeah.
Dope. So when did the decision to drop your first single? When was it? Like, and had you recorded a bunch of songs and you're like, this is what I'm going to
my first single ever? My first single ever was...
Well, as a performing artist.
As a performing artist, Be My Girl. Be My Girl with Young DLC. Yeah.
Darlington.
So, what happened was...
Oh yeah, that's one of the pink artwork.
That's the one.
That's how I remember things. You know what I'm saying? Once again, Sally, very rarely, you come on a podcast where people are real fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Phil, shout out Phil. I'm really disappointed in Danny.
Why are you disappointed?
Once again, these office types, you can't expect this. You know what I mean?
Like Danny,
but if you ask him, could you
adopted.
ask him about invoice numbers? I know good.
We don't want you.
What do you mean you're disappointed? I know that song.
Yimba.
You were Imba, alright. You were Imba, alright. You will feel Imba kids.
10-0. Shame.
This is
my brother's keeper, my foot.
This is how I support you. I don't support you by singing your song silent. I support you by making sure it plays on radio.
Okay.
That's how I got your
Wow, look at Janet being to payola on air.
Guilt Trip 101. Gimba, Be My Girl.
And radio.
Anyway, so it was my partner Ray. We do the Kumbira project together. He knew this kid called DLC Darlington, who went to Churchill, who was apparently my junior. And then he was introducing me to him, and then he was like, "Come through, I do EDM." So I was like, "Okay." And then I went to the studio and I just wrote lyrics in the studio, and it sounded like because I couldn't sing properly at that time. And then I don't know what my Gitzies that lady did, bruh. I'm sitting here. Why is it? So I was like, damn. Then we released the song, but I signed up to anything, like I said, I learned. I didn't know anything about coding music, the ISRC code, just something I put up on YouTube. I don't know if it was mixed or mastered, but you know what I mean? But everything, like with every single I dropped, it was an experiment. It was so I can learn something. It was about formulas of writing songs and when choruses should be placed and melodies and stuff like that. So like, that's why I'm not really in it for the numbers, because I'm like, I want to see what this would do. I want to see if I add some rap to it, So I'm always constantly experimenting and just trying to figure things out. Yeah.
So from first single to first album, when did you decide that you were going to do an album?
Bro, I've been wanting to do an album since 2014.
And did you know you were going to do vocals?
And I started doing the album in 2014. Like, I recorded hundreds of songs that made these 9. Do you get what I mean? Because they started picking from each other, or certain words, or certain melodies, or drum patterns fitting into this and that. And do you know what I mean? That's why I was saying I design. It's about designing certain emotions. There's a way to actually do it. So you just have to be crazy, like if I have to start explaining it to you right now, like it's very weird.
Phil won't get it, but you can.
No, but like just making a song, like I can make a melody right now and I'll remember it next year and then write something from it. And then I'll take lyrics from a song I did yesterday to add to that song.
In terms of putting the music out, I've seen you've been quite on the promo tour. Radio stations, interviews, and the blogs, the newspapers, etc., etc.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm glad that you're doing that.
Yeah,
I feel like not too many people.
Shout out to my management team.
They're very on point.
Yeah, I personally I create.
I've never seen
an
artist
guy. I'm not a
I've never seen an artist pitch up an hour early for an
interview.
Like even when you texted me, I was in bed, bro. I was like, what?
Sorry, Phil, could you switch this off? It's quite distracting. I don't know if anyone's seen Ruby Rose. It's just,
Yeah, I was trying to change the energy because we were watching the news with the Texas.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I felt it was bringing the energy down.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Nothing
will kill the mood like children being massacred.
Yeah, that'll do it. But yeah, back to lighthearted discussion, Philip. Wow. What's the feed? So now the album's out. You've been getting people to know about it. What's the feedback like? What are people saying? What are you getting?
No, people are like nothing but positive feedback. I mean, there was one guy who was complaining that there's not enough guitar. And I was just like, are you a fan or,
or are you in air conditioning? Make a choice.
But yeah, it's a lot of positivity. What makes me, I don't even want to use the word sad, but but again, it's fate, but it's just the people that I expect to be happy for me or to be proactive, in supporting a brother or a fellow,
musician.
But again, it's choices. Yeah.
That is funny. With it not being funny, because for some reason, I don't know if this is a Zim thing, or I think it has to be a Zim thing. I know there's complaints all over the world, but it seems almost every artist that I've ever spoken to, the moment they release their first big thing, they're always like, "Yo, I thought the people who had my back would have had my." Remember we had the conversation with Nati. Same situation. Like, dude, this is my big album, so I thought when I put it out, everyone who I was looking to. And then and then and there's several people I've spoken to, I think you're saying the same. I wonder if there's certain gatekeepers who feel good, you have to come through me for your, I that's the impression that I keep getting, that there's certain people who feel like if it's not through me, then I don't know. I hope not, because I don't like.
I think I just make sure I pray to my ancestors to clear my path and to make sure God lights it. I don't really give a about what's happening with what systems. I do what I have to do with my team, and we keep that boat sailing, my bro,
You wouldn't hear about Phil's playing applause here.
Okay.
Applauding the positive vibes. Like one thing I learned in therapy, Dan, is you can't control how other people feel or react. All you can do is focus on yourself. And one thing that I admire about Sylent is he's always solved his own problems. And that's what I was getting at earlier. It's like, I love music. Let me start making music. How do I make music? Or let me play this instrument. Oh, this instrument doesn't work. Let me play this instrument. Okay. I've only gone so far with this instrument. Let me start doing something else. Let me start singing. Let me start releasing music. You know what I mean? And as he said, it's an experimentation, because that's also how I approach things. Like, if I want to do something, I'm like, okay, let me do it. Let me figure out, let me fail.
Yeah.
So that I know, okay, I don't do that again.
Yeah.
So like, even with the example, with the work we did with him, there's stuff that we did then that I know, that I should never do again.
Yeah.
But if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
And I feel even with this album, he's going to learn lessons that the next time he's going to be like,
I've been learning lessons already, bro. Like, it's like my life is music, and that's that constant lesson. Usually the things within the album, I'm like, but I'm already thinking of more music because there's more projects that I'm working on. So I'm emotionally attached to my craft, but I don't let like the failure or negativity control the narrative. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always like, let you drive a gun every day. But it just, you know what I mean? So it's about working. It's more than just creating. You know what I mean? You got to be really strong. You got to be really strong in the industry. Like, not even around people, just you. Because then, there's darkness that comes in certain states. Do you know what I mean? When you're in that creative space and you invest, you invest a lot, you invest so much energy and if you care about people's opinions, after you know and you're aware that you've spent so much time and energy, if you then do it because you're expecting validation from two broke Twimbos and then it doesn't go the way you want it to, that's when you get up. And I'm not trying to go through that.
Like, let's use a different example.
I'm always trying
in the morning, right?
So I'm always accepting of whatever comes my way, you know?
I think that's the attitude to have.
Yeah.
You know, kuti, if you support me, dope. If you don't,
yeah,
it's
choices and balance, and it's fine. You know, there's that guy from TikTok, and we don't have to like each other. You know, but if we can coexist peacefully, then it's okay.
I would think, this is what I would think, just without knowing too much detail. I would think you've helped so many artists.
Oh, yes.
You've been in their bands. You've done instrumentals for their
I
albums.
am old.
Surely, when Sylent drops his album, I mean, it should be the top tweet, Instagram story, Facebook post, GGG. Because look at all these people that you've been with, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's a case of andinyatsomziya that well, but this time and this time, let me just, you know, I would expect that would happen. But I also know you're Sylent. I don't know if you asked or you just expected people, of which people should do it on their own.
No. I don't. I was raised right. I don't expect. You know, I know. When I tell you, my brothers, I know life. You know what I mean? So I was taught to not expect. I don't expect anything of anyone. But I'm also a proud man. You know what I mean? I will ask you
once.
You know what I mean? We don't have to do back and forth, my brother. You know what I mean? If you can, you can. If you can't, it's okay. I was also raised right enough to not hold grudges and kana zaramba. You know what I mean? But I don't have to get on my knees. I you know, it's God only, you know, and I'll ask you that once. If you can't, it's okay. You know, we keep it moving. If you need me, I will be there if I want to.
Let's focus on the positive, man. The positive. So clearly people are vibing.
Yeah.
And obviously the beauty with releasing music in 2022 is you're Zimbabwean and releasing music in Zimbabwe, but it's instantly available to the whole world.
Yeah. I'm also Mozambican and South African.
One Africa.
Yeah, Sadak.
That's Africa, David. Unless this comes out another week, in which case today is a random day in May.
Why do you guys not film this? Just get a GoPro or something. Like, I'm happy to sit here with you and roast people.
You know, it's the cost, but no,
it's in the plans. It's in the plans.
I'd love to be that. What's that girl from Ridiculousness?
Ranji. No, I'm joking.
You voice right, Danny.
No, sorry, I didn't hear you say ridiculous. I thought you were talking about the other podcast.
Wow, that was powerful. I
know. You guys are now making this worse than Ranji is my people's.
That is wonderful.
You just discovered your sister was last week. Get out of here.
I didn't know it was sisters. I know them independently of each other. We made a sister.
Guys,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
album.
Album Rabuda. Obviously, I'm just like any artist, even the ones that tell you that, nah, I don't even pay attention to my social media. But you guys are paying attention because you want to know what people are saying, right?
Yeah.
What are people saying?
No,
they're loving it.
Positive feedback, man. It's all positive feedback. I'm not. Good. Yeah. It's the little amount of people that have heard it so far are like, you know, and it's crazy. It's overwhelming. Like, wow.
I think it's also good to shout out the artists that were featured on the album.
Yeah, man. Oof. So there's Teho AMG. I don't know if you guys know him.
Familiar.
He plays guitar for Questa. He's the one that played guitar in particular. Cameron Ward, he used to play for Brahuma Segela. And then there's Isadora Loritz from Australia.
I like the vocals.
Yeah. She's amazing. She's got soul. And then Tammy.
It's also nice that you bring my youth, my up and coming artists.
Yeah.
Simbisa, we love that.
Yeah. They're just young artists. They're just young artists.
Are you pushing that Tammy song on radio? Because that Tammy song is at radio. That's radio.
Yeah, that's straight to radio.
Yeah.
I know you're not looking for radio like that.
No,
but,
brother. You know what? I'd love to be played on radio regularly, but if the people want to play it,
it's not okay.
They need to listen to it and f- with it and play it if they feel it.
It's not even like that. I'll give you an example. Mokomba are amazing artists. Anyone who's watched Mokomba live will be like, "Damn, these guys are good," right? But
I work with them too.
Yes.
Flex.
Can we just say any artist we mentioned going forward from this point on, Sylent has probably worked with. So, but you'll almost never hear Mokumba on radio.
Yeah.
And that's just because they don't make radio music. In terms
What is radio music?
So there's a certain mindset.
Radio is just a device that plays sound.
True.
So if you're saying Mokumba music is not radio music, who really wants to listen to the news?
So the people who make decisions for what plays on the radio. Someone wants to. So you know what I mean? The radio is just a device. Exactly. The person behind the mic on radio, that's what we need to talk about. I think that's who we need to know if they went to school for this, if they understand music and sound design, if they can understand to listen to a song and acknowledge. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And not be solo genre.
Exactly.
You know
and I think you've answered the problem. So Dan, who's in charge of programming?
And why can't you put alternative music on prime time?
Yeah, Dan. Why can't you do that?
Great questions that require more than this little bit of time we have to discuss.
I'd love to know. Why is
I know you would
Sylent
love
not
to.
played? Why is Brian K not played? Why is I Am King? Do you know I Am King, the saxophonist?
Yeah,
do you know
very
he's
familiar
got
with
great
it.
music out?
Absolutely.
Exactly. No one plays that.
Now,
Put his feet to the fire.
Yeah, you play it. You guys play it nekuti muri kunyara Sylent. Saka harigati ngomplaya kuti anozoti tinomunzwa kuti takamplaya one apaka 3. Nah. If you want to play my shit, play my shit. If you don't, bro.
Okay, so earlier on, Sylent, you mentioned that there's lessons you've learned at each milestone that you've gone through.
To not ass-lick.
And surely at each of those milestones, you have learned that in each situation, there's a lot of stuff that goes on that you don't know and don't understand.
Yeah.
So before having a firm idea of how radio works and so on, it's okay. Denny's here. I'm happy to explain a lot of things.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's going to be very difficult to have a conversation with that because you already have a strong opinion on how things should be.
No, it's not an opinion. I've said words.
Okay.
I didn't say they were my opinion.
So
it becomes my opinion when I don't agree with your answer after what I've just said. Then I'll go on.
It's not a case of agreeing with my answer or not agreeing with it because I work in radio and you don't. I can't disagree with how to play a guitar. Newe.
What I'm saying
I
is,
can't sit here and say I disagree.
Look
with
at your algorithm, bro. How many times do you play Natio and how many times do you play Ngwenje?
Natio will get played a whole lot more than
exactly. That's what I'm just saying. Program your differently, you guys.
No.
And
no, you have to understand. So
no, why do I have to understand? Why can't you have to understand me? From my perspective, as an artist who's making different music, why can't you understand me? Because you're saying this is how radio works. This is how radio works. Well, this is how music works, bro. It's sound. Let it be played. Right?
Yeah, Dan.
I'm not saying you're not doing your job right, bro.
You're just not doing it well.
All right? You know, give everyone a chance. an equal one.
That's where the mistake is made. And I always have this conversation with artists where I say, radio is a business. The people who work in radio, the individuals, myself, are passionate about music.
Of course.
Radio as a whole, as a capitalist institution, a commercial radio station, is interested in profits.
Of course.
Not the arts, not promotion of music. It's the individuals who work in the radio who are interested. I work in radio and I want Sylent to be successful. I want Natio to be successful. I want Mokumba to be successful. Inini as Dan. But as the radio station and as every radio station in any capitalist society, if it's meant to be commercial, its whole goal is to be as...
So are we saying our music is not profitable?
Not necessarily. But what we are saying is that the decisions that will be made for profitability and not to give a chance. So when an artist comes in with the thought of, no, but radio must give me a chance, I'm like, okay, you're already failing to understand. It's like Inini going to a company and saying, no, I mean, listen, just hire me, give me a chance. No, the company is like, what I need is this, and I need this to accomplish this.
All right, so radio stations in Zimbabwe are selective of what form of art they want to.
It's radio stations all over the world, honestly.
Okay.
Now with Zimbabwe, because I think there's number one, there's very few radio stations.
I mean, South Africa plays alternative music.
They in some radio stations, but not the top 40 radio stations. Right?
Okay.
I can't go to 947 and expect them to play Beethoven.
Yeah, man. Well,
but why? There's reasons behind it, and of course, like I'm saying, this is obviously a huge conversation that one day. By the way,
what I'm saying is that it shouldn't be that way.
Perhaps it shouldn't.
It shouldn't be that way because that's too systematic and conservative, and it's just.
Perhaps it shouldn't. Yeah. And you know what? The person who is more interested in creativity in me agrees with you that, you know what? In all honesty, I wish the world was different. I wish it was more of a case of the radio plays the dope stuff that people can discover and enjoy, and you know, we just grow everything and so on.
Yeah, and this is not an attack on radio. It's media. It's media. It's media. It's systems and cultures. It starts with guys like you, where you know you're giving me a chance. Do you know what I mean? I'm like Munotondifungao, you know, and it means a lot, you know. And,
I think if you every night
together we'll change it. We'll change the narrative, you know, of how things should be. The universe is alternative. Do you know what I mean? You're trying to box it too much.
In all honesty, it's a big task, obviously, but maybe it is something that needs to be changed. Maybe it's something that needs to be done differently. But I think it's also important to understand why it's sort of done the way it is now. And I don't know if you noticed, like there was this whole thing that was trending online about several artists who had come out and said our labels are not allowing us to put out our music until it goes viral on TikTok first. And then they're like, how does that make sense? I don't make music for TikTok. I make music for this or that or whatever the case is. But now the condition is my song has to go viral on TikTok first before it goes out.
Again, that's not that thing. Label. What's the label doing for you? Do you know what I mean? You need to understand these things before you get into a marriage.
So if the plan is to change it, maybe the plan should first also be to understand why it is a certain way. And with radio, the long story short of it is there's different radio stations that have different target audiences. That's pretty much the long story. So some radio stations are designed as top 40 stations or pop stations, so they only play a pop kind of music. And, you know, they'll do the research to find out what's the style of music we play that will statistically get us the highest likelihood of this particular target audience. And I agree with you. It is it's not art. You know what I mean? It's very...
Let's just say it's business.
It's business, yeah.
First order of business, everyone.
And which is also true.
It's fine.
Basically, what Dan is saying is your music belongs on Radio Zimbabwe, and that's not right.
And the second thing is, some radio stations decide that, you know, we want to target an older audience, so we're going to make sure our music is for this. And then if you were to play Nati,
you'd be surprised how many young people love Baba Mtukudzi's music or Yuma Segela. Or do you know what I mean? You'd be surprised. But what radio does, what media does, is that it, you know, again, it's business, so it's controlling the frequency all the time. This has to be appealing. You know what I mean? So it's systems. Like I said, I'm a creative. I stay in the studio. My team and my people and you guys do that dirty work for me. I will create the songs.
But could you even see like you could already see like when you mentioned that the song with Tammy was a radio single. I could already see you were like, ugh, I hate the idea that there's something that is a radio single and something that isn't. It's music.
No. It's never about me. My part I did in the studio.
Yeah, I know. And you were not thinking of that when you made the song. I'm sure.
I was thinking of the song
exactly
when I made the song.
I will say to this, and I'm joking with Dan because, as Dan says, when you get the systems ready in place, all you can do is try. You can only change the system so much.
Yeah.
But the system evolves far more online. Mm-hmm. The music industry itself was designed to be confusing.
Yeah.
The reason why, like, you call out those emails, it's ridiculous. It's only in the music industry where as an artist, you need to know, okay, when I write a song, there's two parts. There's the composition and the performance. And then I need to know what the split sheet is.
Yeah.
Then I need an ISC code. Then I need an IPI number so I can collect my publishing.
Yeah.
Then I need an ISWC so I can inform my publisher.
Exactly.
Then my publisher only pays me every 18 months and my distributor pays me every 6 months. It's designed to be like it's insane.
Yeah.
So
it's supposed to break you.
It is. And but the advantage that you guys have is digitally now, like on the internet, things are moving a lot faster, so you can figure stuff out,
and you can bypass some of the systems, and the gatekeepers that are already in place.
Even with that, like, and I was even telling Dan, I was listening to this album and I was like, with this album, I already know your gigs for the next 18 months are sorted. They might not be the gigs you want, but they're big money gigs because I can see you getting all the corporate gigs.
Right.
I can see you getting all the launch party invites, and because of the brand that you've built, because of the look, because of the appeal, it's very easy for you to tour. The same way Mokumba. Like, I'm sure, I'm forgetting his name now. Mokumba's manager,
Marcus.
There we go.
Marcus.
Yeah, I'm sure. And Marcus actually has. There was a time we had a room on Twitter, and Marcus was complaining about radio play. I'm sure he'd want more radio play,
right?
But Mukumba have performed across the world. Mukumba have performed in the Apollo. If I went to Marcus and said, okay, Marcus, you got two choices. Number one, on local radio or the Apollo. Which one would you take? You know what I mean?
I would personally take it here. I'd personally, because it sucks, man, to
feel like you're not appreciated this side.
You belong out there and home. This is where I should be grounded. You know what I mean? I'm African, so I'm not talking about number one, but just having
the gigs here.
No, just having people listen. Do you understand?
I think you're ready
from home. You know, before Taenda ko Apollo.
But keep in mind, like, this is your debut project. It's what, 9? It's 9 singles.
Yeah.
So this is step one.
Of course.
Let's talk again about album number 3, because I already I can see it. I'm listening to this. I'm already like, oh, okay. That's why I'm saying, like, I can see from the song with DLC to now, I can already see you've already started to figure out not only your identity but how to make songs and how to craft them and stuff like that. So by the time you get to album number 3, you'll have figured a lot more out. Yeah,
and it's not just silence music. The guys, there's different. Can I drop names?
Go ahead, man.
But like, no, they're just the titles, but I don't know. But like, we've got the Kumbira project. You guys know the Kumbira project, and we've got Sikam Tanda coming on, and Machembere. We've got different projects that are not just based on Sylent Nqo. It's like, it's creating umoja, creating together, you know. So it's not just solo. You need to silent data. Everyone, let's go.
And that's like, within that, there's things that I see about you that I'm not sure you see. So like, you can run with the crowd, you know, support Mbeo, for example, right? Like if you and Mbeo on the same lineup, people wouldn't bet an eye. They'd be like, boy, Dubai.
Yeah.
But you can also be on the same lineup as Tammy.
Yeah.
You also have the advantage of being where the club is at.
Yeah.
And be like, yo, Jam Tree, Friday night, bam, Silent, and Emma Gumen. Like, you're one of those few artists who can hop across multiple places in multiple spaces,
right,
and also be booked at like some NGO launch or some event launch. Not a lot of artists have that privilege, my guy. Not a lot of artists have that privilege.
It's just, if you show your most authentic self, bro, people will just take you. I'm accepted because I don't need to try. I'm just me. take me as I am. You know what I mean? So, munanda pretend, and then you put yourself in a box. I'm not that person. I'm a survivor. You know what I mean? So, call me to an NGO as long as I don't have to take a piece of myself out. I'll come through.
Okay.
Yeah. So also, the places you've seen me at and the spaces because they're accepting of my energy.
No.
This time Phil tawacha kuma vetu. Organize. No, not the event. I mean organizers.
No, we'll talk off here. But
and
you're gonna ask a question because I had a question myself.
Yeah. It wasn't really a question. It was more of, it's sort of following along this.
But you need to know by so
no, you tell us if you need to go.
Someone wants to give me tickets, please.
Oh, please. I mean, you mean to the concert? I thought you meant go somewhere else. Oh, okay.
Anyway, gonna win our Maldives.
We've been looking at my tent packages. I mean, see guys are 350. We are sorted.
Yeah.
Saga, Dan and I, we've got 250 amongst us. We just need to find the other balance. If you put in your 350.
350.
We get our own tent.
So we might 250 collectively.
I want to where the brains bend the operation.
My brothers. This 419.
So what I was going to say is, I think for many artists, and I would imagine also for yourself as well, it's almost an insult that I have to think about all this stuff that it doesn't have anything to do with the art. Now I got to worry about how the industry works and how I just want to make the art. You know what I mean? I just want to create. That's when I'm my most authentic self.
It's also wise to just have an understanding. You don't have to be immersed in it.
Which
just
is what
have an understanding so that when your manager is saying something to you, you understand. You know what I mean?
That's actually kind of the point I'm making. Like, I get it. For an artist, it's almost sacrilegious that I can't believe you guys are breaking down this art and this creativity into how much dollars and cents. Because come on, man, like, you know. So, but at least if you have a little bit of an overall understanding of the industry overall, then you have someone else who's handling that side of things.
Yeah, just don't be oblivious. Just
so let
understand. You know, no,
let your management team then tell you, right? Obviously that Sylent heavy album, we're releasing this as our radio single.
Yeah.
And in your head you're thinking, I mean, in my opinion, I was thinking this or that or whatever, but at least someone else is thinking.
It also comes back to the team that you work with.
Yeah.
Transparency. You know, once that's not there, then there's no understanding, and then that's where the whole hullabaloo starts. But like, deal energy. No, you feel with the publishing yangu. This is how it works. You got to explain it to me first day so that I understand it, so I don't ever have to ask you a question without fact. You know what I mean? So I need to understand what coding is. I need to understand what that SW whatever is. So that next time does it, but song you say is going automatically per audio mac, or do you get what I mean? Because then you can explain again to me.
Meanwhile,
but if you don't have understanding at all, and you just, I'm not saying I'm a stupid artist who's just in studio. No, I'm learning the industry as well, but I'm not going to be active in the industry that way. I'm going to be active creatively, you know, but I'll be aware.
Best way to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think let's move on to the album. I think the most important question is, what's her name? This girl on Peter. What did she do?
It was depending my questions. But yeah, it's.
Do you remember this song? Hey, I was listening. I was like, yo, God.
Yeah, but this is a song that I wrote when I was 15. I started writing it when I was 15.
Yeah,
actually. And it's, you know, it's been through panel beating, plastic surgery, everything. That song, it almost didn't make the album, you know. But
there's a every time I see you, there's a girl I think of. We'll discuss off mic. Do you remember was it Haifa?
I do not know you. I do not. I don't know what you.
Why are you snitching?
No, it's just.
I don't know this man.
It's just an interesting story.
I don't know this man. I don't know.
I will discuss off mic.
Is it your sister?
No.
Okay, so
It's not even anything like that.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
I want this look dad. I don't know.
Shame. I don't know what you're talking about, brother.
Of course.
Track 2. What language is that? The title of that song.
Niwache Niishi. That's Swahili. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's Swahili. It means let me live.
Because I was bringing up I even brought up Google Translate. I was like, translate from Shona.
Yeah.
No. Translate from
Shona, Philip.
Yeah, it's Swahili.
Philip.
Did you know what it meant? Dad?
I know how it made me feel. See, it's not necessarily about the
I know
words.
Terra music.
I listened to it.
Once again, office time. Office time. You know what I mean? I might even got notes. I was listening to the project and my notes.
Tell me 4 titles. Danny, tell me 4 titles.
See, what we're doing now is we are testing memory as opposed to testing experience.
No. Tell me 4 titles.
Okay,
Dan, let's do this. Does Sylent rap on the album?
Yeah. If so, how many times?
First of all, Sylent does rap on the album.
How many times? How many songs does he rap on?
I don't know.
Did you listen to the whole album?
I did listen to the whole album.
And you don't know how many times I rapped on the album.
I may not have been actively listening at every single moment. I listened to the album on my way home today and on my way here.
Shame. Sorry. It's just one time. Okay.
So let me love you, Dad.
Denny J.
Office times. Click. When I say click. Let go, Danny. Woo. Danny, that guy.
Okay. Let me try and remember. Okay. The first track was.
Don't embarrass yourself, bro.
Wait.
I will laugh for 30 minutes straight.
Wait. And as you must remember, I was listening to this without looking at the track titles. Like I said, I was listening in the car. It's a word that's not Shona but sounded Shona. Something like Ntakada or.
Oh, there's a T in there, I think.
Indarama.
Yeah. And then
it's actually Shona. It's Shona and it's Nyanja.
You are on the reminder. You sounded a lot like Hopewell on that song.
Who's Hopewell?
My generation just looks at their cell phone. They don't farm. They don't build the nation.
What do you mean?
I'm forgetting the lyrics of that song.
He just mentioned that once. They're looking at their phones.
He threw us under the bus.
Sorry, Phil. That's no longer you. That's no longer you. You're not old.
I'm not sounding like nobody.
No.
In what context? The voice or the lyrics?
No, not sounding like him. As in, he's always complaining about the unfocused youth.
I spoke about my generation. My generation has people from when? 1900. So I said my generation. I didn't say youth or anyone. I said generation. It's a whole generation.
Phil, I mean, if the shoe fits, you know?
Yeah, if the shoe fits.
So, music videos?
Yeah. To Shanda tirelessly to
Lovely.
get to reach that point of ecstasy. Yeah.
What's the next? It always seems like a weird thing to try and focus. You just released an album. What do we mean the next thing?
Yeah.
But you've worked obviously for a long time,
Yeah.
and then you finally put the album out.
Yeah.
So now, what are you working on now?
I want to go see my mom. I'm going to go to Mozambique and visit my mother. Give her a big hug. And then we work. And then we make more choices and live life. make more music.
Toda kubabasa pa radio.
No problem. Until I'm being.
I can see Sylent doing drive time.
Absolutely.
No, I swear a lot.
I was about to say we'll be shut down by the broadcast authority.
That'd be the best. Like,
if you can allow me to, like, you know what I mean, then we can talk about radio. But yeah, man, I need to just spend some time with my mother. We're working on a country tour as well with my team and try to just get the music out there, man. And everything is a learning curve. Take one step at a time, trusting the process, and God for us all.
That's what's up.
We move. All right, man.
So, wait a minute. The Star FM Awards, let's have a little context. The Star FM Awards of this weekend.
Yeah.
Can I invite?
You were nominated. Were you nominated, or you just there to perform?
I was just there to perform.
How was that's probably one of the first big crowds album release, because you dropped your album on Friday. It's a Saturday.
Yeah.
So, like, were you seeing, like, which songs do you see people?
I did 2 songs from the album. Niwa Chendishi, that one, and Ndinawe. It's close. So I did those 2. People really enjoyed it. They really enjoyed it. But again, people enjoyed it.
That's good.
Yeah. Shout out to the Star FM Awards for the stage. Let's go. Let's move. Like, I'm not gonna be cornered.
No one is trying to
We're not trying to corner you.
Move forward. Hello.
Mira, there's something that you and I think any other potential future interview, we don't try to do gotcha style of interviews, or you said this or said that or whatever. We honestly, if there's even afterwards, we've had plenty of PR teams who say, like, Isha, can you remove that part or whatever? Okay, cool. We want to make sure everyone is.
We're not here to catch people out. We're here to uplift the artists.
I trust you guys. No, you guys are my people. I've known you since I was a kid. Yes, you're old then. But I've known you for a while, so you've always been the big bros from a distance. So don't try it. I'm talking about my legends.
Wow.
My old boys.
Anyway.
I hate you so much.
Man. I think that's pretty much. I don't know, Phil. You got more?
No, I think we covered the gamut. Yeah. This is a good episode.
A good chat, yeah.
I really enjoyed this. Like, I don't really like these things, but man, I feel like I'm cabins right now. I'd love to sleep here.
That's kind of the vibe we're trying to create. It's just people, just people talking. Make yourself at home. You can use the bed in the main.
Shame. No.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have a home.
No, you can stay here, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do you want a towel? Do you need a towel? You can use the shower.
Toothbrush.
We can hook you up.
When they're electric.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I think on that note, first tell our followers where they can find you on the socials.
Everywhere that you can. When you type the letters SYLENT NQO.
Check. Get that album, Sylent Treatment. Also spelled like his name.
SYLENT.
Because if it was literal, there'd be no audio on the song.
But then it's like a punishment because, but then the silent treatment.
Better because she won't let him love.
But at the same time, it's like a treatment.
Then he's like, yo, into rammer.
It's a treatment of the music. So he's basically treating you to himself. It's silent treatment, but at the same time, like silent treatment. You know what I'm saying? It's like levels to this.
4 DJs, Mdara. 4 DJs.
Right? Silent treatment available on everything right now. Go check it out.
Which song do you want us to play out with?
It was mine in the studio. It's yours now. Pick a song, bro.
Great. I think we can pick.
But before we go, say Ojembe Jembe.
Ojembe Jembe.
Ojembe Jembe.
Ojembe Jembe.
Okay, I'm gonna say it and then you say it after me. Ojembe Jembe.
Ojembe Jembe.
Yeah. But Pindam culture fan.
Such weak entrance. Do you know I always realized that? That's one question I've always had. Do you know, like, one question I've always had is, why is it so hard to be a Christian but it's very easy to be a Satanist? Like, to be a Christian you have to go to church.
You calling a Satanist?
No, just in general. You know, like, to be called a Christian.
Okay, but why would Sylent Nqo?
No, this is just general conversation.
Are you asking him?
No, you have to read the Bible, attend church, be a good person, follow the teachings of the Lord, to be a Christian. To be a devil worshipper, you just have to say some weird word backwards on a song once, and or just wear a Mickey Mouse hat in a video. But a Satanist.
Yeah. Spirituality is misunderstood a lot everywhere. You know what I mean? Just be yourself, man.
I think that's a podcast, Sylent. We need to start demystifying what Zim. You know what I mean?
Sylent and you.
Yeah. We'll be tackling the hard issues.
I am open to that. As long as it's intentional, Auntie. I don't want to just try things out. But not Philip. You know? I don't want to just try things out and then, I don't want to do it. So, bro, I've got this idea. Don't call me unless it really means something, you know. But either way, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate coming here.
Nah. We got you, fam. We got you.
Mas next I'm going to watenga ari kupi.
Ask you, I'm dead.
I was
going to box and let's say,
what happens? You're such a bad host.
I don't worry. I've got someone in the cupboard.
Was the place about you had gotten keys to my heart. I was like, Phil knows in the Rama and let me love you. And what I was doing, and you exactly you Phil, you know. Then I was on the side to watch Gamma Snacks. Guess
how fickle this guy is. So I take the time to listen to his music.
But my snacks, no. But
my snacks, Pamakon kills, no.
Yeah, I will have a problem there because Phil, do you know what? Phil is like, but anyway, yeah, no, because not like I know, man, but like Phil, I can't I'm an artist from Zimbabwe. Do you know what I mean? Like he knows how to treat because I've been treated like a real artist out there in other countries. Do you know what I mean? And I hadn't been treated that way here, and I didn't even expect it, you know. And then Phil came and is like, "So what do you need for the rehearsal?" I'm like, "Yo, bro, what's your number?" You know what I mean? So it's, you need to know a Phil in your life, a tall one, 6 foot something,
and an office skin type. He really has it down.
And then Danny, never mind.
Best, man. Once again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Danny is the real deal. Yeah. Hello, Sylent.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on the socials, Two Broke Twimbos everywhere. Please, if you would like to support the podcast, head over to twobroke.com/donate to join our Patreon group. Shout out to the patrons.
Don't have money.
Who keep us going. Yes, these are the ones that keep supporting us. And we've been told we need to do video content, so we need more patrons so we can justify the costs.
Buy us a camera.
Also,
camera it's just the cost.
Also, we need, you know,
guys, who do we want? Blacks.
Well, I mean, you know,
even blues are fine. I think a blues and a browns.
Yeah. So please support via Patreon or if you, we do understand that times are tough for everyone. At least find a way to support. Find someone else to join the Patreon, or at least share the podcast, or drop a like, a comment, subscribe, whatever the case is. We would appreciate all your support anyway. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it, Philip.
That is indeed.
We're going to sign out with a couple of Sylent songs. Which one are you going to play, Philip? Let's play 2. I want to play Stuck.
I like the one with Tammy.
Okay, so let's play Stuck and
Dinawe.
And Dinawe, yeah. Dinawe is also good.
All right. Yo, we'll catch you guys next week.
We are.